I just got back from the Adapticon Milwaukee. I submitted the Golden Demon, and something happened that completely changed my experience. My entry got moved in a different category. And not just any category, no. The one where the Slayer Sword winner came from. Hello, my name is Marcus. I'm a professional miniature painter. Welcome to my channel. And in this video, it's all about the preparation for Golden Demon, the Golden Demon itself, the workshops, the Adapticon, and the final experience. I went there for 3 reasons: the Golden Demon, workshops, and to be very honest, a very hard reality check. I got all 3. Just not the way I expected it. So for everybody who are never able to go to Adapticon, this is a little overview what it is all about. The Adapticon in Milwaukee is one of the biggest tabletop conventions on this planet. Thousands of players, many painters, hobbyists, competitors, resellers, food booths, vendors, and a lot of old friends, and maybe some new friends. And within minutes, you feel it. The energy, the hype, the scale of that building, it is enormous. Especially as a guy from Vienna, for me, this is something very special. I've been to the Adapticon since 2017 with a little bit of a break in between. I have to say the step up from the Schaumburg Adapticon before to now Milwaukee is a massive one, especially when you go into the Adapticon to your left. And there it is, a massive area with dozens of ready to go painting spaces. There are lamps, there are wet palettes, there are paint of several of many brands. I think the only thing that I haven't seen there were brushes, which is kind of relatable. But other than that, everything is done for you. Big shout out to Charity and her crew. The whole hobby area is enormous. And from last year to this year, it seemed like it got even bigger. If you like to spend time there, there is always a space for you. There are super friendly people, and I love it. But before we get too deep into the convention, let me tell you my story and what I think is my main motivation to go to Adapticon and especially to the Golden Demons, which is a little part of the Adapticon. So I want to be very clear on that. I submitted multiple entries to Golden Demons. Not many years ago, I started, like 2 years, I think was my first Golden Demon. And after this year, I can tell you this was basically my first year. Not because I haven't tried the last years, but this year I really went all in. I tried to push myself. I tried to give everything I have. I tried to be creative. I tried to be storytelling. I tried to be unique in what I'm doing. And I tried to give them my best piece that I can do at that time. And to be honest, that was not really the case the last years. Of course, I thought this is everything, but on the other hand, I really focused on the wrong things. I focused on multiple entries, which is not wrong, but for me, I didn't have the time for that. So I kind of like rushed it through, and this is what I haven't done this time. So what you saw from me on the Golden Demons, this is basically what I can at the moment. I would say probably I can touch up some areas, but I would also say that this is the best piece I've ever done. But then my entry was gone. And even worse, it happened before I had to do a workshop. So I was there, and like most Golden Demon painters, we're kind of like walking around that area there, checking up if they maybe already judged something, if there are competitors that are in our category. Check out the other miniatures in the cabinets, which is sometimes a little bit tricky because everybody know it, the lighting situation in that cabinet is not perfect. But to be honest, it still looks amazing. Very recommended to go there because it looks different than on photos. It looks, on one hand, way more impressive for me because the craftsmanship is so solid. But of course, light, shadow, and everything gets a little bit mixed up in that cabinet. But to be fair, everybody knows it. So yes, it's kind of a pity, but when you know it, you kind of like, you know how it should look, and you know that in a good light, it will look amazing. But back to my piece, my missing Golden Demon entry. As you maybe saw on the internet, Instagram, wherever, I submitted in the Blood Bowl category because for me, it is the category that I am most related to. I love Blood Bowl. I love to tell a story about Blood Bowl. I really like the World Cup, the Euro Bowl, all that little tournaments. I've been to many of them. I love to play that game. I also play the computer game, all of the computer games. I was very, very deep into Blood Bowl and still am. At that time, my heart was beating like absolutely crazy. I was there, my entry was gone. I had to go prepare my next workshop. And then I checked the diorama category because I thought, of course, it's storytelling. It is Blood Bowl, but maybe they put it in storytelling. I went to diorama, but nothing there. So I waited basically the maximum time that I can get, and still nothing there. So I gave up, stopped like raising my mind around it, and I went to my workshop. I held an amazing workshop. It was my last one for that Adapticon. It was about speed painting with style. One of my favorite ones. We're doing a lot of competitions in there. It's amazing. Everybody loves it. And in the middle of the workshop, there was a ring. And of course, it was one of my German buddies. Big shout out to Shubi. Shubi Miniatures on Instagram. Check it out. Very, very good artist. Also Golden Demon winner. So check out his Instagram. He texted me, your entry is in diorama. And the first thing that came in my mind was, oh no, that's the category with probably the most massive and impressive entries. I'm talking David Aruba. I'm talking Andy Waddle. I'm talking Sam Lance and all the other guys. I'm sorry I cannot name everybody, but that category is not from this space. And I knew this category will absolutely crash my little entry. So, of course, in the middle of a workshop, I was a little bit irritated. The workshop was still amazing, was very, very fun, very nice guys. But at the end of the workshop, I went to the cabinets to check it out. I was a little bit pissed because, of course, I made it for a way smaller category. And this category was not a small category at all. So after the workshop, I moved to the cabinets. My heart was racing because I knew I will never get any kind of chance because that category is packed with absolutely amazing entries. And I thought really from my heart, and I don't want to be the asshole here, but I thought at least I will get commanded or finalist in Blood Bowl because I think my entry was really good. And I thought this category is my category. I spent hundreds of hours. I sculpted most of the piece by myself. I made storytelling. I made everything that is kind of like cool for Blood Bowl. So I thought Blood Bowl is my category. I will crash that category. At least we'll do it. At least we'll make it to the finalists. And now I'm diorama. So I went up, got to the cabinet, and what I saw was absolutely mind blowing. I made it. I made it to the finalists of the diorama category. I was absolutely over the moon with my feelings. On the one hand, I knew that in Blood Bowl I had more chances. On the other hand, never expected to get a finalist pin in diorama. And on the other hand, I knew that I will not make it to the first three places. Let's be honest, other pieces were way better than mine. I'm very realistic with that. So I was happy to be finalist, but also I knew that I have to go on stage a little bit, or at least next to the stage with the guys from the diorama category. And if you ever been to a ceremony of a golden demon, is an absolute energy ball. So they called out the finalists, and I was like, what am I doing here? I'm not belong to those people. So I went there. I was kind of like, I went there. My heart was racing, even without the chance to win one, two, three. It was still like an absolute thrill. And I can't be more thankful for this experience. And especially for all the people who wrote me. I got like, I cannot tell you, probably like 50 plus DMs on Instagram. And I can tell you, I really, really appreciate. I can't thank you enough. Every single person that wrote me, I was very thankful. I tried to answer every message, every comment. I'm really, really thankful for all the support because, to be honest, it was a hard trip and it was not easy. It was hundreds of hours of work. And at the end, not going home with a demon, which is totally fair, but going off the stage and knowing that in my and knowing that my family, my friends, people from my shop are in a complete different time zone. it is in the middle of the night and they still stay awake to just check out if I win something or not. To be honest, that's not that's not something I take very easy. That's something I'm really, really happy with, and I'm really, really thankful for people who support me that much, even when I cannot express it in a way that you might deserve it. Okay, sorry, I need a little bit, but let's get back to my experience for the Golden Demon. So I gave everything I had. I entered in a category. I was moved to another category. I got finalist at that point. I was happy with the result. Obviously, it was a thrill going to the stage to get that finalist pin home is amazing. Thank you for all the support. What's my take to Golden Demon? In my opinion, especially when you check out all the videos about Golden Demon and everything, I think there is a lot of rumors about judging, especially about the categories. It was a big topic there, but at the end, I have not seen any kind of like crazy misjudging. Maybe some pieces that I didn't understand, but at the end, the best three in each category, I cannot really say that I would not also judge that the way they did. So, what I think is everything comes together to also personal preferences. Everything comes together to quality wins most of the competitions at a Golden Demon, most categories. I mean, bigger is not always better. And I really, really recommend if you haven't seen Golden Demon in real life, talk to the artist. Normally, after Golden Demon, they take it out of the cabinets. You can maybe watch it in real life. You can watch them in the cabinets as well. They are not all fully lighted, they're just not very pleasantly lighted. And so, my take out of that Golden Demon competition, where I 100% tell you I tried to win something, I didn't, which is fine. Of course, I was a little bit disappointed, but if you're not disappointed and if you stop caring about winning, I think that would be the moment where I should stop competing, and it is a competition. So bottom line, I was very happy going there. I was very much in a roller coaster of feelings there, and now at the end, I'm very thankful for everybody. So that is my take on Golden Demon. And from that, we are now coming to the Adepticon and my recommendation for who should go there and who should probably not go there. So, my pros on the Adepticon. Adepticon is incredible. The size, the people, the idea, the variety of workshops. Also, kind of like the city, Milwaukee is not. Milwaukee is kind of a cute city. I like the market hall there. I like the coffee spaces. I like that it's not far away from Chicago Airport, which makes it very convenient to travel there. But in reality, for some people, it is a little bit too much. It's crowded, it's fast, it's a lot. So for people like me, who is 90% of the time when I'm not sleeping in my studio, painting miniatures, talking to maybe one person, sometimes to another one, but not in a big crowd like that. This is overwhelming. So if you want to go there, plan breaks. You have to get out of there sometimes. You have to get out of that crowd. You have to get out to recover from all that things. So my main advice to you, keep it slow. Don't try to do everything at once. So who should go to Adepticons and why? And who should probably be a little bit disappointed by the convention? So start with why you should go there. You have a variety of workshops there. In my opinions, the workshops are nicely priced. They are not cheap, but what I saw is you get a lot for your money. So when you want to improve as a painter, it is an amazing place. Be quick because the workshops are normally sold out very fast. Get the best workshops you can have. You will have an amazing time. My recommendation is one workshop a day, not more than that. It is very exhausting. The rooms are small. The rooms are very dry. You have to keep yourself focused when you go there. So I would really recommend one workshop a day, 4 hours. That's the perfect amount of workshop to learn the best. So the second reason why you should go to Adepticon is if you are a gamer. The gaming events are insane. Me personally have never seen a single building with more gamers inside. And I can tell you most of the systems, like not just like Warhammer. I think it's not even the biggest tournament. You can absolutely enjoy whatever gaming system you like. So if you are a tournament gamer, or just want to have casual games, open gaming, go to Adapticon at least once. The third reason why you should go to Adapticon is to connect with hobbyists. As I said, there are painting stations, there are insane painters, there are gamers, there are vendors. If you are a social person who like to connect with new people, who like to talk with everybody, this is your event because actually there are no limits. There are thousands of people doing the same hobby as you, and I think you will enjoy it to go there, talk to people, and have. But why shouldn't you go to Adapticon? First reason, very obvious. If you don't like a big crowd, this event is nothing for you. It is big, it is fast, it is loud. Everything in a range of a normal convention, obviously. It's not special loud or special big, but of course, it's a convention. Not everybody likes conventions. Reason number two why you shouldn't go to Adapticon, and I can tell you, I was disappointed. And I think one of the biggest downers this year was the vending hall. I don't know why, but I was a little bit disappointed. Not even that there were just not so many booths of different vendors. Also, the booths were surprisingly small. I give you an example, and you guys know I love AK Interactive. I really do. I have everything they have. I also have them in my store. I really, really love them. But that booth there on the Adapticon was poor. When you compare it with Essen, which is an amazing booth, you can sit there, paint there. You have to have a bigger range of stuff. Also, not everything. Maybe you should do a little bit more on Essen too. I know it's expensive, but still. On Adapticon, the AK booth, and this is just an example, was a little bit small. There was some paint, there was some markers, which I like. There was some sets, and I think a little bit of a diorama section. But there were no liquid pigments, which I really like. There was not. There were no tufts like moss. It was really just the absolute essential things. What I think is a mistake, but also, of course, not my business. But in general, the vending hall, all the booths, beside of some, were, in my opinion, not very special. So if you go there and think you can buy more than you could also buy in a good local hobby store, I really don't think so. And I say that with all my heart. I would love to see massive booths because when not Adepticon, when then? So going to the next con. So speaking as a person who's not really social, I try, I give my best, but it's hard for me. If you go there alone and you're not a social butterfly in the most positive way, it can be sometimes a little bit lonely. I know this year for me was a little bit easier. I knew some people, I had amazing chats with people. I tried to connect a little bit better, but as I said, it's not easy. I would recommend going there with friends. If you're not really a person who is easy with talking to strangers, I think convention like that can be a little bit lonely, especially if you're not playing, if you're not going to workshops, if you just go there for the vendor hall and walking around a little bit, I think you will be done in a few hours and then it can be a little bit boring. All that depends on who you are going with. So comparing the Adapticon to Spiel, which is obviously a complete different convention, but let's compare those both. Spiel is massive. You can go there, you have like 8, 9 massive rooms. You can go there, you need 2 days to see everything. That's fine. You can go there alone, it's easy. On Adapticon, it's not that easy. You will end up a little bit lonely if you don't find the real people to spend an amazing time with. This is not the fault of the Adepticon. I just want to be honest with my review. And I think when you are alone there, you don't have enough to entertain yourself. So take your best friends and go there and have a great time together. At the end, I want to make a quick shout out to all my workshop members from this year. In total, I had 3 classes. All of them were 18 plus people. I was very, very happy. Thank you a lot for coming. It was a blast and hope to see you again. Big shout out to the guy who brought me his own raw honey. I absolutely love the Nebraskan raw honey. Maybe if someone knows that big guy who's doing honey as maybe a job or hobby, I'm not 100% sure, and paints miniatures and goes to Adepticon. If someone knows that guy and he's on YouTube or on social media, just tag him. Big thank you. I love that honey. And to end that video, I can tell you, go to Adepticon, push yourself for Golden Demons. That was my personal review on the Adepticon, and I'm very, very happy to be part of that journey. And I hope to see you in my next video.